Hey, Voices from the Bench community, Jennifer Ferguson from Ivoclar here with a quick shout out to all PrograMill PM7 users and those thinking about joining the club. On July 1st, we're launching the Ivoclar block module that is powered by intelligent automation that optimizes toolpaths and saves you serious time. I'm talking up to 45% faster milling. And you want to know what the best part is? You can try it for free for 90 days. No pressure, no commitment. Do you want in? All you have to do is shoot us a message on Instagram at ivoclar.na or email me at jennifer.ferguson@ivoclar.com and we'll get you set up.
Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 378 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name is Barbara.
Barbara, where the hell were you the weekend before last? We missed you in Florida.
I know. I'm so sad, but
yeah.
NOLA Lab came first. I caught a midnight flight, didn't get into, I don't even know. We actually circled Tampa because there was a dark red, which anybody knows rain. So dark red rainstorm. So we circled Tampa for an hour. I think I got in at 1 a.m.
On the way back?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it was fun. I'm actually glad I didn't commit because it would have really sucked. But yes, I know FDLA is my hero and you were amazing and I've seen it all over Facebook. And of course, Joe and all his memes. And so it was great, right?
Oh yeah, it was a great show. Great group of attendees. The lineup of speakers was really good.
Oh, I know.
mean,
so amazing.
I don't want to name them all because I'll forget a few, but man, it was killer.
I saw John Wilson. What he had to go through to get to that show was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not fun.
And I don't know why these people put West Coast residents at 8 o'clock in the morning on East Coast shows. I don't think I would agree to that, but props to him for doing it.
Well, he had a bad time to get there, and he had a funny thing on Facebook, and I was just like all in. I was watching it, and I was like, he's amazing. So just one of many.
Yep.
But it was good.
Yeah. Thank You Jensen was set up in their booth. Man, what a great company. I learned a lot about Jensen. Talked to one of the gentlemen from the company that will be on an episode. Learned a lot about, just how Jensen works and the history of it. I love it. The expo hall, traffic was a little light, but I really didn't think I got a lot of recordings. But now as I go through it, I got a good amount of recordings. I'm
super jealous.
A little prouder of myself.
Well done. Thank you. I'm so sorry I missed it. I mean that sincerely. I do like recording live with you.
Yeah, we missed you, Barb. We really did. What was kind of cool is had a few conversations with past guests, just getting some follow-up. So that was fun.
Sweet.
Even somebody I talked to that we had on the first year.
Wow.
But also, hey, we want to give another thank you to JDT Magazine. They gave us a whole page about our experiences at IDS.
Dude, we needed a whole magazine for our experience at IDS. Oh my God. Thank you, JDT. That was an experience in itself.
And of course, thank you, Exocad. We wouldn't even have this article if it wasn't for them.
True.
But man, it's so cool to kind of relive that 5 days.
No, I like the fact that they pulled both your and my opinion and they pulled in everything we had to genuinely say about it. I love JDT. So good. So I was happy about it.
Yeah, speaking of JDT, a highlight of my life happens in this issue. If you follow me on Facebook, I did post about it. But they were doing a follow-up article about my time at NADL University. 2015. What a great
You're old.
I look so young in that picture.
I know.
But they asked me for a headshot And when we were doing this, I was on my used Chat GPT to turn everybody into Muppets, and I sent them my Muppet headshot, and they published it.
I know, I saw it.
I'm so excited.
Very impressed. I know.
Everyone else is probably like, Elvis, calm down.
I was like, that's my partner. He's a hero.
It's like a highlight of my life. He's great. Oh, it's the little things.
It is the little things and the big things.
It is. So let's get to it. We are actually going to interrupt our scheduled IDS recordings that we got at the ExoCAD booth to bring you two good friends that are putting together the must-go-to dental event of the year this November.
No doubt.
So the good half of Nowak Dental Supplies.
Sorry, Sean. Just saying.
Brandi Nowak comes on to talk about her history of stepping into that family business 25 years ago. And let's not forget that within that first 5 years, they got devastated by a hurricane. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And with the help of her brother, they rebuilt that business to the powerhouse that it is now, providing everything to labs, and importantly, only labs. But just at the beginning of this year, they brought on Marybeth Starr to the Nowak team. Marybeth comes from a long line of companies that provide to labs, starting with Dental Tech Supply, which I didn't even know about. Then she moved over to Zahn, and of course at Harvest, where she shined bright, to her current role of helping Nowak grow and become even better. But these two have something that you honestly just have to witness.
Oh, yeah. Or hear.
Or in here. They know how to have fun, and it's that dynamic that is bringing us the NOLA Lab Fest in November. You don't want to miss this stellar lineup of speakers and evening events. This is going to be such a great show.
Awesome. And we go through it all.
So join us as we chat with Brandi Nowak and Marybeth Starr. Voices from the Bench. The interview. So Barb and I are super excited today. Now, not only has it been, 3 months since we've done a remote recording?
It's been a long time, yes.
Yeah, we're a little out of practice, but I think we're coming back with a vengeance and a great group, because we're joined by two people from one of our favorite companies, Nowak Dental Supplies, Brandi Nowak and Marybeth Starr. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hey, guys.
Hi. We're super excited to be here.
Right.
So are we. So, before we get into the real reason why we're all here, I want to hear a little bit of the Brandi Nowak story.
Yeah, I do too, because that's a great story.
We all hear the Sean story, honestly, to the point where we're sick of it.
Yeah.
I want to hear the Brandi story.
Okay. So I am Brandi Nowak. I have been doing this for 25 years now. I love teeth. I love everything about teeth. My desk is covered with teeth. I just love the dental industry. I graduated from college in business, and this is where I wanted to be. I wanted to surround myself with teeth and great people, and I love it.
Yeah, grandfather started it.
Yes.
Dad took it over.
Yes.
You went to college thinking you were going to come back, or what was the inspiration growing up?
I wanted to actually be a psychiatrist. And then I went...
Very needed in our field, by the way.
It is. And so I went to college thinking that's what I was going to do. I went a year into it, and I'm like, oh, I take on too many people's problems. Like, I worry about them once I finish talking to them. So I'm like, I can't do that. Well,
yeah.
I didn't know I'd end up being a psychiatrist in the dental field. Like, get to know all their
together.
Yeah, I get to know all their problems, and so it works out. I get best of both worlds. I get teeth and helping people.
Yeah, but did you know that when you switched your degrees that you wanted to go to Nowak and you wanted to work there?
Yes, I did. Yes. After I decided I didn't want to be a psychiatrist, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to continue our family legacy and walk in the footsteps of my grandfather and my dad and my aunt did.
Wow.
So when you came into it, how big was Nowak compared to what it is now?
We were very small.
That's what I thought.
We were very small. We were more just of a local dealer. We did the New Orleans area, Louisiana, Mississippi. We were very small. I mean, When me and Sean got here, we both got here in 2000. They were still handwriting all their invoices. There was no computers at all.
In 2000?
Yes,
Wow.
2000. It was probably 2 or 3 years later that we finally okay, we have to get computers. And no one in the office knew computers at all, not just anything.
Geez.
Oh, wow.
So the first day that I taught them computers, the first thing I did was I'm like, okay, I need everybody just to bang on their keyboard. I need you to see that nothing bad is going to happen. It's all going to be okay.
There's the psychiatry right there.
Exactly. That first day after trying to teach computers, I left crying. They left crying. I'm like, I don't know if we can do this.
Oh, no.
So you actually had to physically teach everybody how to use a computer back then?
Yes, like how to use a mouse, how to use completely how to use a computer.
Wow.
It was very different. I mean, me and Sean grew up with computers. We had, but this was people that had never touched a computer, and they're like, oh, I can't do this. And they're used to handwriting their invoices. And
so you were the change agent.
Yes. When we look back, I'm like, Sean, so each person, whenever we'd sell a product, they'd have to go look up at the manufacturer's retail and then take a discount off of that. You know how many times that was probably wrong on people's invoices? They got a better deal here. And I'm like, there was just no consistency and no computers.
How many employees were part of that Nowak at that time?
We had about 15. So there was still a good amount of people. But once computers came, you could give people new jobs. You could, computers did a lot of that.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of resistance from the 15 employees?
We did. Yes.
They all left crying.
They all left crying. They all wanted to quit. I'm like, it's going to get better.
But that was your first interim going into the company too. So that had to have been a little hard for you psychologically. The new you're a family member, but it's your first day or first week, and you're bringing all this change. I'm sure they loved you twofold.
Yeah, yes, I'm sure.
She was the employee of the month.
What do these kids want to do?
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
I've been doing this for 30 years with my calculator.
So how did you get around that?
We just kept doing it. I mean, you have to keep going. Every day we're going to get better on these computers. And finally they did. And they're like, oh, this is so much better.
And then they were like, thank you.
Exactly.
I'm sorry I hated you at first.
Exactly.
And 25 years later, you're leading in digital in our industry. Isn't that just amazing when you think about it?
Our grandparents and just never could have seen this coming. My grandfather, his first year in business, did $2,000 his first year in sales.
Wow.
And his second year, he did $1,000 in sales. So he went down by 50% and kept going.
What year was that?
That was 1944.
Wow.
44.
The hell is he selling?
We have the list of items. We have his inventory items.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, we have a list of it.
How many items does Nowak still carry?
Some. We do still sell some of them.
Interesting.
Cool. I was curious. The hurricane, what year was that into your legacy?
2005. Yep, we were there.
Yeah, so that was 5 years after you started.
Yes, 5 years after.
Didn't that totally nuke your building?
We lost everything. There was nothing left of our building. So backstory real quick. So when my grandfather started, way back, his dad died when he was 10 years old. And he had to become the man of the family. He had to work at 10 years old. And so he started working at a dental laboratory. He delivered their cases.
Oh. This had to have been what, in the 30s?
I'm thinking the 20s or 10s.
Oh my God, that's
so
cool.
He delivered the cases, and back then they didn't sterilize their cases like they did now, and he got a lung disease from one of the cases. Now this was years later. He was married and had a kid by then. So this was in the early 40s. And so he's like, this is all I know. The doctor said, you have to quit the dental lab. You can't be around all those chemicals with this lung disease. So he quit, and he's like, this is all I know. I only know dental supplies. I've done this since I'm 10. Dental is all I know. So he got this leather bag and he got merchandise and he became a dental peddler, going to dental labs and dentists, selling whatever was in his bag. And my grandmother did the books.
Wow.
Do they know what chemical started the disease?
It was not from the chemical. It was from something like something that was on
or something he caught in the impression or something.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yep. So then fast forward to 2005 when we lost everything in Katrina, 18 feet of water. When we went back to the building, my husband said, "Why are we here? There's nothing left." And I said, "I want my grandfather's bag." And he said,
"You still had it." Wow.
He's like, "Brandi, the bag's gone. Like the front of the building's blown out. Like Home Depot's 2 blocks away and their merchandise is in here. There's no shelves left. There's nothing left of this building." And I said, "I just want to look for it." So we decided to walk through the building and there was one shelf still standing and the bag was actually on that shelf. So the bag went up with the water and came back down with the water. And my dad and my aunt were ready to retire. They were at the end of their time with Nowak Dental. And they said, "If y'all are going to start this company over, this has to be on you and Sean."
Yeah.
We can't start
no pressure.
Another. Right. And so we took finding the bag as our sign.
Oh, yeah.
If he started with this bag, then so could we. So, I mean, we had no employees, we had no building, we had no merchandise, but we had the bag. So we're like, we can do this.
So if it wasn't for you two, Nowak would have just closed because of this incident.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a pretty remarkable story.
How did the bag not float away?
I don't know. I think my grandfather...
Sign.
Yeah, it was a sign. It was the sign. And so now it's in a case and we will take it for the next hurricane.
Wow. So you and Sean decided, let's do this, and had to get a loan and had to rebuild and like literally from the ground up.
Yep.
Was it in the same space or did you guys move the building?
We moved states.
Wow. Where were
Farther
you?
away from water?
We were in we were right outside of New Orleans, and now we're in Mississippi. We're above sea level.
Wow.
Above sea level.
Good call.
I have 2 criteria.
So when we left, we literally took a backup disc, and we took the gold crowns because we figured that's something that could be looted. Mm-hmm. Nothing else anybody wants. The gold crowns they can loot. So that's it. That's all we took with us.
Wow. And the bag.
No, we didn't take the bag then. This was before we left. We just
I gotcha.
Disc and the crowns. That was it.
Wow, that's insane.
How do you put up with your brother at work? Do you guys?
Our offices are on opposite sides of the building.
Bingo. It's always the yin and the yang that makes the best partnerships, though.
It is, and we are definitely yin and yang.
Yeah. It's crazy. We talk to a lot of husband-wives, father-sons, mothers-daughters, things like that. Brother and sister is a whole new dynamic, though.
Yeah, we're definitely yin and yang. Yep. He spends the money. I want to save money. He's like, let's jump into this. I'm like, wait, we have to figure out all the stuff.
And poor Marybeth is in the middle of this
Here I am.
sibling rivalry.
Good segue. So tell us your story.
Oh.
Yeah, Marybeth. I know you from, we can't not mention Harvest because of your history.
Yeah.
But I think you go even farther back than that, don't you?
Oh, I go way back. Yeah, so I actually started at a little supply company called DTS, Dental Tech Supply. I had went in there to interview for a part-time position. And it was, this is back in the olden days where I found a listing in the newspaper.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
I know. It was so old, but I was an optician. And I was working for a company and they were bought out. And so I stopped working for them. And I was like, I just want to do something different. And so I went to apply for this job. It was just going to be like a part-time something until I figured out what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Martha Wildman interviewed me and we talked for a little bit. And then she was like, hold on, I want to get the owner. And I'm like, this is a part-time job.
They like me.
It's been way too long. I don't know. I was like, I don't know about this place. But So Tom came out and I interviewed with him, and he was just like, I think you would be a great fit. And I'm like, great. And he said, you have a sales background. And I said, yeah, I do, but I'm kind of over it. And he said, well, I want to start a telesales division and I want you to be in charge of it. And I'm like, wait, what? And I was like, this is not part-time. And he's like, no, this is a full-time gig. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, we have an office in New York and we're, one in Denver. And I was like, okay. So I stayed, and Tom Underwood is like one of the greatest people ever. I love that company. And so
was this a company selling to labs or to offices? Or
it was Dental Tech Supply. We had 3 locations. We had 4 for a while, but we shut down Florida. But we had Bob Raft started DTS in New York, and then he brought Tom Underwood in as a partner, and we opened Kansas City. And then we brought Bob Miller in as a partner and started Denver. So
they're not around anymore, are they?
No. So
okay.
Tom retired because we always had argon as one of the alloys that we sold. And Tom and Bob were both big with argon. They were both argon salespeople. And so we kept argon, and then that's how that relationship started. But so
they merged.
Bob retired 3 years ago. And I think Tom retired 2 to 3 years ago as well. But so they're both doing well. Tom and I, he's like a mentor. I love him. Yeah. And we're still in good contact. But as we were, going through DTS, we were seeing really good growth.
Sounds like it. You keep opening locations.
Yeah. So it was good. Then buyouts, talk started. And so Darby purchased Dental Tech.
Oh, yeah. That's the company that people always confuse my lab with.
Darby and Derby.
Yeah, all the time.
Constantly.
They were the ones that took over? Where were they out of?
New York.
Okay.
So, so we were purchased by Darby, and that was a really good move. And that's where I met Rita, right? So, Yep. So that's, we, came into the family that way, and it was good. So Darby was rolling along for about 7 years, and then Henry Schein bought Darby, the lab division only, right? So the medical, dental, vet, everything stayed with Darby except for the lab division. And
you have seen a lot of consolidation.
I have. Wow. I know, right? I look so young, Barb.
And they're all big, huge names. They're no joke either.
Yeah, they're no joke. And it was a lot of fun. And it was like we were hitting turning points. And it was fun to see the industry changing. And, we're getting to learn digital. When digital came along, I was involved with the digital side with Zahn. And then still I managed a telesales Midwest territory I think there were 5 of us in that territory that I was managing through. And then they were just like, we want to start with digital, and will you help Stan? And I was like, sure. So 2007 or 2008, I guess it was a year after we got into Zahn, I started working with the digital team. But that was a lot of fun just to watch and how it changed the industry, because it was so weird, right?
What did you do with the digital team? Were you telesales, or were you actually physically doing the selling?
I was doing sales operations.
Wow.
So I helped with the team, helped with the structure, and then basically ran logistics through for all of that. So it was a little bit of everything, because it was small, right? Yeah. We didn't know how the industry was going to react to it. So it was 2 of us working on it just at the beginning. And then it just kept adding people in, and then CMC started, and it was just kind of a big growth time. So I was with Zahn up until 2019, and I loved it. I loved the people. I saw really good relationships. You know how you make those friendships?
Oh, yeah.
Where, no matter if you move around a little bit, and I never really moved around a lot. It was just buy out.
Yeah, I'll say.
I remember when we got to Zahn and we had a manager's meeting, and Jim came in and he said, does anybody have any questions? And somebody said something about, we hope this is the last buyout or something. Because there was a bunch of this managers that had been through 2 of them. And he's like, this will be the last buyout.
I don't know if there's anything.
Honest.
Is there anything bigger?
No,
No.
not yet.
Nice.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say, Nowak, boom.
Give us time, baby.
Yep.
No, actually, I'm really grateful to, to Zahn and Darby. I mean, DTS, like this is where I got my start. And
Yep.
so you always pick up things as you go along from job to job. And then when I decided to leave Zahn, my old buddy Sasha and I talked, and he was like, come here. And so I did. And so I worked on the manufacturing side for 5.5 years. And it was a good time. Like, we had a lot of fun working together. And
Wasn't that right around COVID or right after or before?
yes, Barb, it was the year after.
Yeah.
So I started there in 2019. And then in 2020, it was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
It was so crazy. Yeah. So we worked through that, and we had a lot of fun. I've known Sasha, like, we grew up in the business together. He used to like bring stuff over to the table when we were DTS. He'd be like, hey, can I put something on the table? And we'd always make room. And he's just a good guy. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He's a great friend.
I love listening to his videos.
Right? Yeah.
Yep, totally.
But that had to have been quite a culture shift for you from Zahn to Harvest, because I mean, we all know Sasha. We all know what he's created.
Yeah.
I mean, was it hard? Was it difficult? Was it
It
interesting?
was
I mean, was it
exciting
welcoming? Yeah, sure.
It was exciting because it was different, right? It was just like a departure from, like, the culture side and the people side is always the same, right? Because it's like you treat people how you want to be treated, and so you make friends wherever you go. And so when we came into that, it was like figure out the relationships, and then the job comes easier. Yeah. And so we had a lot of fun. COVID was hard, but I was grateful that we were together for that. And but no, so I think switching from distribution to manufacturing was something that was interesting and exciting and new. But then when I felt like it was time to leave Harvest on really good terms, like Sasha and I talk probably every 2 weeks still.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We'll text, even if it's just a quick text. It was like, hey friend, how's everything? And so we have, just that really good relationship. But it was just like, when I felt like it was time to move on, I came back to my distribution roots, and I'm so happy because I think that Brandi and I might be we might be separated birth, like twins separated at birth. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, and Sean, even we were all on a call the other day and we were doing like a brand archetype thing. We were walking through like some branding things and we were all like saying the same things. It was hilarious. But yeah, so I feel like I was telling them the other day, like, this has the feel of DTS, like where it's, everybody's just kind of tight, and I don't know. It's a really good
Yeah,
fit.
no. I mean, you're a perfect fit for it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from the outside, we can tell.
Yeah.
And Sean's in a lot of trouble because me and her think way too much alike.
We really do.
Now
We
you
blame.
have an ally. That's awesome. Did you have to move? Did you have to move,
No.
or did you already live there?
No, I live in Kansas City, so.
You guys don't live in the same. Oh my God, really? I didn't know.
I'm
that.
here this week.
Yeah,
I'm here for a couple days. We went to the French Quarter yesterday, you guys, and tooled around, and that was a blast. It was like 800 degrees. It was a lot
Sounds
of fun.
like Florida.
Yeah, exactly, Barb.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, it's good. I love it here, and the people are good.
So what's it like working with a company remotely, or have you always been kind of remote?
No. So when I started working remotely, it was probably 5 years into the Zahn purchase.
Oh, gotcha.
I used to have a warehouse in Kansas City. So we had it was like a 20,000 square foot warehouse sales office. And then when Zahn bought us, we shut down the warehouse, obviously, because Indy has that massive distribution center. So we shut down the big office and we moved into a sales office. And then a couple of years after that, they were like, why don't we save the rent money and put you guys, me and my team, as remote? And they had never done that before. So it was like, okay. So at that point, I mean, I started working remotely. And then when I worked for Sash, obviously I was still in Kansas City. So it's, we
That's
didn't have a
cool.
really hard time with it, but
Yeah.
I love it. Like I like being at home and
It's kind of awesome that you're with Brandi right now on our podcast. I thought you guys were in
yeah,
the same building. That's great.
yeah, I think it worked out best,
Yeah,
right?
it did.
Took about 5 times, but we got there.
We made it.
Finally. Mary Beth, what is your role with Nowak now? What exactly do you do?
Well,
A lot of everything.
but that's what
Sure.
that's what I like. So like my official is brand, like so director of brand and customer experience. So
Uh-huh.
just to kind of what's in my wheelhouse, what I love, and what I did a lot with at Harvest was culture, brand, marketing, sales, like a little bit of everything there too. So it's kind of similar, but different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, how many months have you been with Nowak? Because I've noticed a distinct change, like especially online and Facebook and
Yeah, so it has been, this is the beginning of my 6th month.
Yeah.
I started
all
in
right.
January.
Yep. That's what I was
Yep.
thinking in my head. I was like, it's got to be right around 6 months.
Yeah, so
That's it.
there's a lot to do. And that's like one of the things that we were working through the last couple of weeks is like the brand archetype and how we, our voice, things like that. And so
Yep.
that's been really exciting. So we're working through that and just kind of changing up the presence,
Oh yeah.
how we look, how we feel. It's who
I can
Nowak
see it.
is, but just
Yep.
more visible.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Brandi, what exactly do you do all day? I mean, other than
Other
get
than
on Sean's
everything.
nerves.
I just talked to Mary Beth all day now.
It's the way it was meant to be.
How do you two get anything done?
We're very efficient.
We are.
You have to be. That's so true.
We just come up with all these crazy ideas and we're like, okay, how do we make this happen?
I love it.
Make a list and then we're like, maybe we need to edit.
Yeah. Maybe we can scale that back a little. And that's what I was telling Sean. I'm like, I'm having not that I wasn't having fun before, but like bringing Mary Beth on, like rejuvenated my passion for this. Like it just made it so much more fun to do everything.
It's coming across.
I'm
Totally.
gonna get right now.
Just in case you were wondering, it's palpable. I can feel it. I can hear it and I can feel it. It's awesome.
Especially like our new thing that we're working on. Like, can we do that now?
Yeah, let's roll into it.
Yes.
I want to know. Okay, we're going to talk about what you're starting is called a lab fest.
Correct.
Which you got to be careful when you Google, because there's a laboratory retriever fest that I found.
Oh,
hey, we could have dogs.
I'm not going to say I didn't spend some time on their website too.
Oh yeah, we know you did.
yes.
So how did this idea happen?
So it's called NOLA Lab Fest. And so we were trying to do like little road shows because so many states have lost their conventions. So we were trying to do little conventions around, and it wasn't really going over big. They were at Top Golf. It wasn't really fun. It didn't have mine or Mary Beth's signature on it. It was just
They were not bringing the fun.
They were not bringing the fun. So decided, let's do our own show. And so I'm like, if we're doing this, like it needs to be different. It needs to be completely different than other shows out there. It's going to have great speakers, but it's also going to have fun. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be inviting and welcoming to everybody, and it's going to make people interact. And I want to do it all. So how do we make this happen?
Yep.
And so we're doing, the main thing I love is most shows, when it's over, it's over. At 5 o'clock, when the last speaker finishes, everybody's out of there and they're going to dinner. They're going to different bars, and you don't really see everybody again. That's just it. You don't see them till the next morning when you find out what they did that night.
You know, that's a great point. When I started in this industry, and there were a lot more smaller local shows, I remember North Carolina had one, Kentucky, Tennessee had one. They had evening events.
Yes.
Yep.
but they all went away. Even
did.
Florida. Remember Florida used to have like a casino night or something?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Gone.
And they all went away because they're so damn expensive.
They are.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They are.
But you lose
It's
that.
true.
You're right.
Yeah.
You totally. I mean, everyone's gone.
Say if somebody's just a one-person lab, or they only send one person, they're going to
What
these
do they
classes.
do?
They're not really
Yeah.
meeting anybody that's sitting next to them, and then they just have to go find something to do that night. We want everybody to collaborate and talk and meet people and have ideas with people.
Well, I think
100%.
So
one of
what
the
are you
best-
doing?
No, I was gonna say, I think one of the best things about our industry is the relationships,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? Because you meet people, all sorts of people, and it's so much fun, right? And so I think that's one thing that you lose when you don't have those evening events. But
Yes.
Brandi came up with 2 really great ideas, like for evening stuff. So tell them
Yes.
about that.
So the first night we rented out a riverboat that's going to
Ooh.
take us on the Mississippi River. We have a jazz band that's playing. We're going to dress in 20s style if you want to. It's taking us out on the Mississippi River. There's going to be food, alcohol, dancing, but you're stuck there.
You're not going anywhere.
You're on a riverboat for 3 hours and you're going to meet people.
That's awesome.
I love that idea.
Yeah, you're gonna make new relationships. You're gonna meet new vendors. You're going to, meet somebody 5 states away that, might be having the same issues that you're having. The second night, I really wanted to focus more on, New Orleans as well. We're going to go on a ghost tour.
Ooh.
It's not going to be like scary, like jumping out things. It's going to be a ghost tour history. It's going to be, at this place, so many people were killed and there's hauntings and things like that. We end up at one of the oldest bars in America, which is haunted as well. Again, you're meeting people. You're
having fun.
How did you come
I
up
love
with that
that.
idea?
So I've done the ghost tours. They're a lot of fun. They're, they teach you so many things about the history of the city that, you would never know. And
Like who died where?
yes.
Or why locks are upside down.
Yes. Why the
Right.
locks
So
are
it's
upside
just
down.
like some history too.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Elvis, why do you think locks are upside down?
To confuse burglars.
Barb, what do you think?
I have no idea.
Tell them.
Because it was the vampires that can't use the locks upside down. I don't know.
The vampires aren't smart enough to turn the locks upside down. It's not about
Interesting.
Yeah, about vampires.
So why now?
Now I'm gonna have to Google it real quick. It was
To
something about
confuse the vampires, Barb. Duh.
Yeah.
they couldn't get into the house.
Yeah, and they tell you about why they think vampires came to Louisiana, and it's a whole haunted, but it's not like something jumping out and scaring you. It's nothing it's not Halloween. It's history.
That's cool.
Yeah, so just something different.
And then with all of the fun stuff, all
here
of the
comes-
vendors
Yep.
are going to go too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to include the vendors in all this.
Everything.
The vendors we want as part of we don't want everybody separated. We want vendors as part of everything. We want vendors if they want to come listen to all the classes, because our classes are not technical classes. They're not how to make a crown. They're business related. Every single one of them is how to improve your business. So vendors are more than welcome to be part of that. We want everybody as one community and, feeding off of each other.
So before we get too into the deep of who's talking,
Yes.
this is happening in New Orleans. That's the NOLA, NOLA?
Yes. NOLA, yes.
New Orleans, Louisiana. Is that what that means?
It is, yes.
Okay. Yep.
He's the smart one.
Yeah. November 7th and 8th. So that's a Friday and Saturday?
Correct.
This is nice because we don't have a lot of shows in November, I don't think.
don't.
Look at that.
I mean,
and-
that's always been like a dead period of getting together, I guess.
And we figured Louisiana's weather is it's either really hot or there's a hurricane. So we get two So we get 2 good weeks of weather a year, and that's one of them. So
Yeah,
We
that's
picked one
actually
of
a
the
really
two.
great time frame. You're
Yeah.
right. hurricane season, for those of you that don't know it, when does it end?
It ends end of October.
Yeah.
But usually they're gone more in September.
Us Florida people, we got hammered last year, so I should know that very well. But yeah, that's a good time frame. And you're right, Elvis. We don't really have meetings around there.
No, everything dies off in midsummer and then nothing till Vision. So this is
Yep.
nice. This is
Yeah.
nice to continue the momentum of the year.
Yes, and then actually on that Thursday night, we're doing a Ladies of the Mill reception.
Yeah, talk about that, because Ladies of the Mill, Barb and I, huge fans. Been
Yep.
to, I think, every show they've done, but they've stopped. So they've partnered.
I
love it.
This year, there's going to be a reception for Ladies of the Mill on that Thursday night, so that they can get together and see each other and
not lose that sense of community, because it's such a great group. And so when Jill and Christina said, like, this year it can't happen, right? There's so many things that are going on. Brandi was just like, it can't stop. So let's do something.
No, I was sad when they.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, yeah, I know. And so, when she said, let's do something, it was like, great, let's tie it in. So we decided, like, we'll give them an evening where, everybody can come together, as many people, who've been part of those for so many years can still come and feel that sense of community, and then tie it into our NOLA Lab Fest. And then we'll figure out the coming years as it happens, right?
Exactly.
But so for this year, it's, a really nice evening, cocktail hour, and I'll have some bites. We just viewed the rooms yesterday. Yes. It's such a pretty room.
It overlooks the Mississippi River. It's a beautiful room. It's going to be really nice.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to get everybody together.
And I always ask, because I have to, men are invited, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Especially you. Yes. Especially you.
Oh, geez. Thanks.
You've been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
I have.
Yes. I'd just like to say, from my perspective, thank you guys for that, because it's so important that stays strong and moves along through the years. And I can't imagine what those two ladies had to go through to build it, and the amount of energy and time it took to keep it going. So thank you to Nowak for I guess, what do you want to say, partnering with them, because it's awesome.
Yeah, they're amazing. They have done so much for the industry, and
they're super passionate about it.
They are.
And it translates, right? It's that's not something you can fake.
Right.
And so the authenticity behind that, them setting that up, you just don't want to lose it.
Right.
So that's Thursday. Everybody gets in.
Thursday.
We do the cocktail. What do we kick off Friday? How early are we talking?
6:45 for you and Barb.
All right. That's awesome. I'll still be up.
Head start. Make breakfast for everybody.
Yeah. I'm in. We like the live shows. We like the face-to-face shows are the best.
Those are
all right.
good.
So Friday itinerary.
So our keynote speaker, I am super excited about. So I'm a huge Disney fan.
We know.
I think I've seen that. Yep.
We've got our ears on right now.
I love Disney. So we actually have someone that worked at Disney. He was the person that set up the Disney Institute, Louis Gervais. And so he is going to be our keynote speaker.
How did you come up with that?
Well,
Yeah.
I love Disney.
But like, what is he speaking on? You said a lot of it was business. So is he speaking like, what's his topic?
So he is talking. Marybeth can go.
Well, this is kind of my alley. The title is Service is a Superpower. And so he's going to be talking about service excellence and competitive advantages, and just how exceptional service can transform, your culture, customer loyalty, and how it just brings a certain level of, happiness to your group, and not just your. I always say you have internal customers and external customers, and your internal customers are your coworkers, right? They're customer number one. And I think that, from everything I've read about him and the way that this is going to go, it's like its culture is huge, and culture translates to your customer. And so he's going to be speaking about that, and it's really good. Like, he's pretty dynamic. Like,
Yes,
when
dynamic.
you watch like his previews and stuff,
Yeah.
he's a really dynamic guy.
Does
so
he do anything in a funny voice?
So he actually, before he did the Disney Institute, he actually was one of their actors. Like, you know how Disney has like
Oh,
street
yeah.
actors on the
Wow.
Yeah. So he was one of their street actors. So he does do things like that. And he actually, like, his backstory, like, he worked at, oh, if I get it wrong, I'm sorry. If he worked at like a steak restaurant, and he treated it like he was working at Disney. Like, he always wanted to work at Disney, and he treated like his customers were the most important thing, like Disney does. And,
Yep.
you know, so that's how he got into this. And
I love it.
And that's
Love
how
it.
Nowak does too. Just saying.
oh, thank you.
Well, hopefully he'll touch upon how Disney can raise prices and everyone can
How everybody
how Lab should raise pricing, knowing everybody will still use you.
We do have a speaker on that. We have a speaker, our keynote on the second day, that is doing that. It's how to charge market price.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That is so great.
Yeah. So
Who is that?
his name is Jude Grayson. He is not actually in the dental field. He is a speaker, and he's actually a Taekwondo person.
Wait, what?
So if you don't pay attention, he's going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I should cuss.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
no,
can.
It's fine.
What does somebody about Taekwondo know about charging prices?
So he owns many Taekwondo studios, and he teaches business owners how to run businesses and be able to raise your prices. And
Interesting.
yes, so my kids actually go to his school, and there is, I'd say 6 to 7 Taekwondo schools in my city, and he is the most expensive by far, and he has the biggest schools.
Interesting. That'll be a new perspective.
And how did you know that he was a speaker?
So my kids go there, and we're friends, so I know how good of a speaker he is. And
Wow.
so he came here, and he started talking to me and Sean, and we're like, oh, we need you.
Wow.
He spent 2 days going over stuff with us, and he's like, what did I say that hit on it? And we're like, the market price thing, do that one. And so we added him to the Facebook group so he could see that the labs are saying, oh, I haven't raised my prices in 10 years. And so we added him so he could see that and put that into his speeches.
Well, that was really smart, and I think so many labs struggle with that.
Yes, they
There's
do.
so many labs that I see on Facebook that haven't raised prices in, like you said, years and years and years.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how, and we don't want to switch because then they'll drop us. Or how do you, do that?
They feel like they can't.
Right.
Yeah, they feel like they can't, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think if your kids go to see him, I'm sure your kids could kick my butts.
Yeah. We'll have Kinsey the enforcer.
Yes.
Who else is in the lineup? Because I'm looking online, I'm seeing a few names I recognize.
Yeah, so we have Nicole coming. She's going to be speaking about like supply chain and
Nicole Jackson from the school, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm excited to hear her speak. And she has such a good voice in the industry, and like what she's done with that school is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited about that. She's going to be talking about like streamlining for growth and just kind of hitting on a couple of different things, a little bit of AI in there because she's familiar with it all. So she'll be really good too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got Sash. He's going to come.
Sasha, how'd you get him? Wink.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. Randy had to call him. He wouldn't
Sasha's
take
like,
my
who's
call.
this?
No, yeah. So Sasha's going to come. He's going to talk about brand identity, which is
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
which is what he is really good at. So
yeah.
we'll have Sash, and then Chris Borms is going to come. He's going to talk about like selling your lab. Like it's, a guide through transitioning out of ownership into, the next step. How do you exit if you want to exit, right? And the different things that, could potentially happen, and kind of gives you a little roadmap.
I think that's a really great topic. And I think he's definitely a great speaker for that because how they sold their company and how he stayed for several
Mhm.
years and then how he transitioned out of it. I don't think he's still with them, is he?
No, just like a
No.
month or two
Yeah,
ago.
that's what I thought.
Recently, he stepped out. I tried to find out what he's doing. He wouldn't tell me. Apparently, this is it. He's coming to
He's gonna
NOLA Lab Fest.
he's gonna practice for the next 7 months.
But it's not all going to be the good part of selling your business. It's going to be the bad side as well. So it's going to
That's
be.
what I'm saying. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been down that road, and so I think that's going to be a really, really great topic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
do
think
know, don't you, Norm? Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of people think about selling or consider it, but then what happens after and what do you
Right.
do? It's
Right.
great.
Yeah.
It's cool.
We'll have a couple of people talking about working with DSO. Well, Greg Harris is going to talk about working with DSOs. Like, how do
Good
you
old
do it?
Greg.
What
Yeah.
are some of
Is
the
that like
strategies?
the Greg Harris that we know?
It is the Greg Harris.
Awesome. Yeah.
We call
I've
him
known
the.
him for a long time.
I
Yeah,
think
he's.
everybody's known Greg Harris for a while.
Do we always have to say it twice?
I think so.
So when we go to introduce him, we'll say the Greg Harris.
Yeah. You got to reprint everything now.
I know, great. I have to say
So
that up.
he's going to talk about how to attract DSOs and work with them.
How to work with it, like strategies, right? And how to model it out and to kind of navigate through your positioning with a DSO.
Yeah, and something I've noticed is DSO used to mean Heartland and Aspen, but man, does it not anymore. I mean, it's 2 practices, 3 practices, 4 practices. Just it's taken on a whole new meaning, and it takes a whole new mentality to kind of work with them.
Yeah, I think like they're going in instead of starting a partnership, right? It'll be like, hey, dentist A meets dentist B, and they're like, we should be a partnership, and it's not that anymore. You know, it's a DSO.
Yeah. Even the 1 and 2 practices think they're Heartland too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They want the same pricing.
Yeah.
We did something different. We're actually having a dentist come speak as well.
Gross.
And
I mean, yay.
he's a great guy, but he came up with a really cool title, and it's "My Dentist Wants to Cam Alone. CAD, We Still Work Together."
Oh,
So-
love it. That's
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is
So-
great.
just how to work with a dentist that's gonna do their own cam, and how to still work with them and be a partner with them.
That is huge right now.
Yes.
So he's got his own software and designs his own cases, and then he has a lab that fabricates the work.
Other way around.
Other way around. Okay.
Yeah, these dentists have printers now,
Wow.
and they're saying, hey, can you just design this and let me print it? And
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, at Derby, we're having to kind of restructure pricing to accommodate for this and make new codes and just kind of put it in the workflow. And how do you get the files back and forth and calibration? And it's a whole new thing.
Yeah. So we thought that would be a good topic.
No, great topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is he out of?
New Orleans.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, young guy.
And then Stuart Steinbach.
Yes.
So you can change people, or you can change people.
Yeah, when I first read that, I was like, what?
I know we had to like figure out an emphasis or
Yeah.
something for the website, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be good because it's really hard to. I mean, the old adage is hire slow and fire fast, but it's really hard to do. I mean, you guys know. So he's going to talk a little bit about like how to work through those relationships and work on culture, and just a kind of a different perspective on how to make people really thrive in their own environment, or when to know when to cut them loose.
Right.
That sounds like a great topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's been down that road too, family company. It's kind of all goes together, you two, very, very well. The way who you have speaking, what they're speaking about, what they've all been through. I mean, you're hitting every note, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We tried
Yeah.
something different. Everything different.
A labor of love.
Yes.
A labor of love for sure, but it's got to take a long time to sit down and figure out how you go from one topic to another and hit all of that. Was that you two, or was that like a group of people?
That's a group, and we're
a group.
still doing it today.
Yeah.
That's why they're here.
We were working on it this morning, and I looked up, and I'm like, we got 9 minutes.
Yeah. Stop. We got to give them the gas. Yeah. More fun. We're going to play Family Feud.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
What?
Yes, we're going to play Family Feud. We're going to ask for volunteers ahead of time, and we're going to have lab questions.
Like you're gonna do like we surveyed 100 different labs.
We are.
That's
We
And the
are.
top 10 reasons why.
Yes. Like, what is, like, can I tell them one of our questions? One of the questions is, like, what is the smelliest thing in the lab?
Oh, that's great.
So it's all going to be lab-related questions.
It's Bob.
And you
It's
can at
always
least have
Bob.
7 answers. That's for sure.
Right. Yep.
The traps. It's the traps.
Yeah. Yep.
I love this. So what, people are going to make teams and
We're going to ask for volunteers, and then if we have more than 10 people that want to do it, then we'll randomly select 10 people. We'll put them on 2 teams. We'll have colored shirts for them to wear, the blue team and the green team. And we have buzzers. We have the big sign. Well, it's going to be on a computer, but we have the big, and it's called Lab Face Off, and it's going to be the different teams, and we're playing.
wow. Who's hosting?
Who's going to be the moderator? Who's hosting?
We're not quite sure
Yeah,
yet.
we're not quite sure.
We haven't gotten
I
to
bet
that.
you that's going to be Sean.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You know he wants that job.
He's going to Richard Dawson want to kiss everybody.
We're gonna make her a fancy suit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're working on right now. But yeah, so it's everything's going to be fun. We're going to do bingo where you're listening for words in different people's speeches, and there'll be prizes for that. We're going to do trivia throughout the whole thing. There'll be a prize for that. And so different things to make it fun and entertaining.
Yeah.
Fun is the key word for this entire thing.
And what time does this fun start every morning? Because the real...
Because we'll be in New Orleans. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So we're thinking 8:30.
That's better. That's
early.
better.
It's not going to be like a 7:30 start, but we might start a little earlier on Friday than we do on Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to nail down like the agenda, like the final timelines today. We've got all of our sponsorships in order, and so we'll make sure that our vendors get the love that they need, and we'll get everybody all situated.
I love the fact that, I mean, you're Nowak, you're a vendor, but you have other vendors vendoring at your vendor event. I mean, I love it.
And we're going to make sure that all of the attendees and even vendors feel completely welcome. So something else that most shows don't do, each of our vendors and attendees are going to be given one of our employees as their person to go to. If they have trouble, here's the cell phone number of the person you need to call.
Oh.
And
if I can't get in my room,
right, call me.
Barb can't find her key card.
I found Barb, and I don't know where she goes.
She's down at the Voodoo Lounge. So call her an Uber.
So just to make everybody feel like they have somebody, you know, for those people that don't know anybody, now they have somebody that's their friend. Yep. They can reach out to and like, hey, I need help, or I can't find where this room is. Let me text my person.
Yep.
So I got to be super honest. Every single meeting, I text Rachel. I'm like, Rachel, where do I got to go? And what time do I have to be there? And she's always like, you got to be, it's the 3rd floor. It's this room. I swear to God, if she listens to this podcast, she's like, yes, every single meeting. But I mean, she's always there and she always answers, and it's brilliant because it always, you know, it helps me out a little bit because I'm not the most organized person. And so I think that's a great idea. And I actually have one. So good for you guys. Whoever came up with that, that's brilliant.
Just a heads up.
I will use it. Just saying.
Good. Okay.
Barb might need 2 people.
Maybe.
Where do I have to go? To Elvis. What time are we starting? 8:30. Okay. Yep.
And it'll be on the back of your lanyard, so you won't even need to look for it. Like it'll just be in your lanyard. You'll know exactly who to text when something's wrong.
Good luck to whoever gets me.
I feel bad, and you might want to double their pay.
Yeah. We might just like have one person decide just that's Barb.
I warned you.
Not it.
Yep.
we cannot end before we mention that, of course, Barb and I are going to be there with the podcast recording. We have to give a huge shout out to Adite. They have agreed to kind of host us. We're going to be right next to their booth, or however it's set up.
We love being in the booth area. It's so great.
So, I mean, we love the opportunity. We appreciate Nowak and Adite for allowing us to come, because I think the vibe at this show is going to be at a whole new level.
Yes.
And the kind of communications and conversations we have when the show is good, it's so much better.
Yeah.
And we're so excited.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's so much fun.
Yeah, and we're gonna have headshots and Instagram wall and all kind of things. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yep.
Cannot wait. How do people register?
So they can go to NOLALabFest.com, and that has the agenda. It has bios on the speakers. There's a registration link. In the registration link, then there's also where you can book your hotel room. We should say, like, the hotel is really nice. And it's right in the quarter. So you're steps away from Bourbon Street.
It's right in the heart of the city.
Yep. It is. The casino's across the street. Yeah, you can look out the window, and the Mississippi River's right there. You're right by Bourbon Street. It's perfect location.
And you guarantee no hurricanes.
No.
And
most probably.
Oh, I'm going on the boat ride. That sounds amazing.
It does.
It's going to be fun.
It's so much fun.
And because the ghost tour Saturday night, I mean, you're recommending people stay Saturday night.
I am.
I mean, yeah, don't leave.
Yeah. Don't leave. Go on the ghost tour. Have fun with us, and go home Sunday morning.
Yep.
There you go.
Can't wait.
So, you still have plenty of space for people to register, right? I mean,
we
you're
do.
not full yet.
Right. It's getting less and less because we can only hold so many people in our hall. But yeah, so people need to register as soon as possible.
Yeah, don't wait.
Yeah, don't wait.
Don't do your traditional lab technician wait till the last minute.
True.
You'll be missing out.
I don't do that either, Elvis.
Yeah, right.
Only because he reminds you.
Well, awesome.
I'm super excited.
Yeah,
Barb, I
me
know,
too.
is super excited. I think most of the industry is super excited. It's a long time coming that there's a Nowak show. And
Yeah.
it sounds like it kind of sums up Nowak perfectly with location and activity and vibe and putting us all on a boat. And
Ghost tours. I love it.
love it all. Love it all. So, Brandi, Marybeth, thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
So much for having us.
Yeah, coming on the podcast, but just putting this together.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
So we will see you there.
Yeah, I'll see
Yay.
you there. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
Have a good one.
You too.
You too.
A huge thank you to Brandi and Marybeth for coming on our podcast. You guys are a trip. You can tell you love each other. You can tell you love Nowak. It was unbelievable. And thank you for putting on what sure will be the show of the year. And of course, Elvis and I have always been a fan of Nowak Dental Supplies and what they do for our industry. Even Sean, shout out, that we only give a hard time to. Of course, we love him. I saw him on Facebook. He was on Facebook the other day with I think it was a pediatric show, giving Brandi a shout out, and I thought that was pretty cool. So, but come on, great lineup, speakers, riverboat, ghost tours, and it's all in New Orleans. It's going to be amazing. New Orleans. How do you say it?
Well, I say New Orleans, but I think they say New Orleans.
Yeah. So head over to NOLALabFest.com, and there's a link on this episode show notes to register. And do it soon. Don't wait, because I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to sell out. And of course, thank you to the amazing team at the Adite for sponsoring Elvis and I. We get to go and we get to talk to everybody at this amazing event, record some incredible people. So please see us there. Let's go.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. The better the vibe of the show, the better the recordings.
Hell to
so
the
this is going to be Epic.
I know, and I saw it all over Facebook. I think it was today. So let's go, guys. Register, come, let's have some fun.
All right, everybody. That's all we got for you. Next week, we're going to shift back into IBS. So we'll talk to you then.
Have a good week.
Bye.
I'm doing backflips right in front of you right now.
F***ing A. The views and opinions expressed on the Voices from the Bench podcast are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the host or Voices from the Bench, LLC.